morning. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiera, your friendly neighborhood regional flight attendant, and today is January 31st. It is currently 5:27 a.m. and today is the start of a 2-day for me. But before we get into that, I'm sure all of you, or most of you already know that 2 nights ago, one of our it's hard to talk about, but one of our military helicopters flew into one of our commercial planes, one of the planes that I usually operate, coming into DCA, and unfortunately there were no survivors. I did not know the crew personally, but I did have classmates who did know them, so getting to know these people through my classmates, my training mates, it's hard. It is, you don't realize how close it could have been to being you on that flight. And so I had taken yesterday off, but had I not taken yesterday off, I would have been in a 6-day block, and who knows, I could have been assigned on this trip, and it's heavy to think about. So I this is going to be my first trip since then. Today I just have one leg. It's DC to Greensville, and then tomorrow it's 3 legs, so Greensville back to DC, DC to Manchester, Manchester back to DC. So I'm glad that today is just 1 leg. I think that's all I have the energy for, honestly. I have recovered from my cold, thankfully, so that's a plus. So we're just gonna get through today. I'm gonna head out. Like I said, I have a 7:25 report time, so I'm gonna head out now because I don't know what the state of the airport is, and I would not like to be caught up in any type of traffic or extra traffic, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my way, and I will check in with you guys when I get to the airport. I have made it to the parking lot, and it's kind of surreal. Like, business is still going. Trains are still taking off. I'm just waiting for the next shuttle bus to come around so that I can go to the airport. We're gonna get through today. We'll just take it one day at a time. That's all we can do. So I will check in with you guys when I actually get in the airport. We have made it to the hotel. I have stayed here before, so we'll just do a quick little graze over. Love the Bluetooth mirror. Absolutely love it. Yeah, the full-length mirror. It is a conjoining room. 2 beds, as y'all know I love and adore. I will never pass up on showing y'all the star of the room. Yes, microwave and a fridge. I have a little closet area here, iron hanger, storage space. I have just dropped my bags over here so they're not in my way as they normally are. You have a nice little view. Ouch. Another mirror here, TV. Yes, we just had one flight today, got through it. There were some moments. I didn't check in at the airport when I got there. It was just, I had some moments. I was tearing up walking to KCM. I was tearing up for boarding, and I surely was tearing up for deplaning. But I held it together as best I could. Some of the passengers, they sent their condolences and greatly appreciated that. So yeah, but it was a smooth flight. I'm not gonna lie, I did hold my breath once that landing gear came down, as it was in my head. I'm just playing. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. It made it through safely, thankfully. It's 10:14, so I'm gonna disinfect, clean, unpack a little bit, and then I'm gonna go to the gym. That's where I'm gonna go. That's where I need to be right now. I'm gonna go to the gym and then start just getting myself together. We have a pretty long overnight. I didn't check and see what the van time is. I'll have to check that when we get downstairs. I can't even remember what time my report time is. We'll cross that bridge a little later. I know I have at least like 20 some odd hours here, so I'm gonna enjoy it. The captain and the FO, we're planning to go out for dinner. So I did bring my lunch, so I'm gonna eat that, but we are gonna go out for dinner. So it'll be good. I have flown with both of them before, so it was nice to see familiar faces. And the captain, during our briefing, he checked on our mental, and it definitely helped the process. So I'll go ahead and unpack, and I will check in with you guys a little later. All right, so I'm gonna head down to the gym. I figured out my van time. It is written on my key. I have a 6:30 a.m. van time. So that's not too early. It's early, but not too early. So I'm gonna go down to the gym. If I remember correctly, they have a pretty nice gym here. So I'm gonna go and let my grief out in exercise. That's healthy, right? I have made it back to the room. That workout was definitely what I needed. And I'm gonna follow up with a shower, and then I'm gonna eat and just relax a little bit. Just relax for a little bit. I think I mentioned earlier, me and my crew, we are gonna go out for dinner. It's 11:55 now, so we were planning to meet up around 5. So I have plenty of time to shower, eat. I'll probably iron my uniform for tomorrow, get everything ready so that I don't have to do anything when we get back from dinner. Not sure where we're gonna go. I may go out and walk around, give me some fresh air as well. We'll see what happens. I know for a fact there's a shower and a meal and an ironing session in my future. After that, we will find out together as I do it. So I will check back in with you guys a little bit later. I have finished showering. I am about to eat. Yes. Cannot wait. Very hungry. While I'm looking at my wrist. It's about 12:15 now. I'm gonna wait till I have 2 hands to move that. I'm gonna go ahead and eat, and then we'll see what else I get. Well, and then I'm gonna iron, and then we'll see what else I'm gonna get into. Ooh. So that's about 10 minutes to 5:30. I'm about to head down to meet my crew so we can go out to eat. And I just chilled. I did not do anything else after I ironed my clothes. I talked to one of my friends in aviation, so we've been talking each other through this very difficult time. And now I'm about to go and eat. Definitely hungry and ready for some food. So I'm gonna head down to the lobby and meet them down there. We should all be down there in like 10 minutes. So I can't wait to eat. So yes. So I've made it back to the room. We ended up going to Beat Ups, which isn't too far from where we're staying, and it was much needed. It's, I don't know, it's gonna sound weird, but it just talking to people who are in aviation, it's different talking to them versus talking to like people who aren't. So it was refreshing to talk to them and about the situation. I mean, we didn't spend the whole time talking about the situation, but we allotted time to express how we're feeling about it, and we didn't let it dampen the experience at B-Dubs. We had a great time. I think I've mentioned before, I've flown with this captain before, and I actually flew with him over New Year's, and it was good to see him. Like, he has such a good energy, and the FO, he's really cool. He's a Harry Potter fan, so y'all know we bonded over that. So it was much needed. I am glad that I did go. And so now it's 7:42. It's still kind of early, but I'm probably gonna, I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna call it a night. Just gonna chill for the rest of the night. And then tomorrow, as of right now, I still just have the GSP, to DC, and then the Manchester turn through DC, and that's all I have. The rest of the crew, they have 4 legs, and I think they fly through Cleveland tomorrow. So they'll be getting a new flight attendant. But it's all good. I'm sure they're gonna have a good time. I think I have flown with the flight attendant that I'm currently scheduled to fly with tomorrow, I think, but I won't know for sure till tomorrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night, and I will check in with you guys in the morning. Good morning. It is currently 6:15 a.m. It is February 1st. I'm gonna start by saying Happy Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. I woke up to learn that there was another plane crash last night near the city of Philadelphia. It was a medic plane, from what I understand. There were 6 people on there, including a pediatric patient. It's heavy. It's extremely heavy. It's difficult in itself to hear about these tragedies, especially these tragedies that are, this doesn't happen often. And to have 2 aviation crashes within 2 days of each other, it's hard. And I feel like it's particularly, let me catch myself, it is extremely difficult for those family and friends of those who knew these people personally. I am not taking away from how difficult this is for them. It is also difficult for those of us in aviation who, this is how we make our livelihood. Like, we're in the air all the time. And yes, you know that this can happen and it's not likely to happen. It's still something that it sits with you. It's almost like a reality check. Like, for a while, if something doesn't happen for a while, you almost feel invincible. You almost feel like, oh, it's not going to happen. And then it happens and it's just like, whoa, we're not invincible. So this morning I've just been been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of soul searching. And as scary as it is, what works for me is getting through this, not being afraid to live, not being afraid to fly. I've spent more than enough time in my life being afraid of what people thought of me, being afraid of showing emotion, being afraid of being me, and just being afraid. And I don't want to spend any more of my life being afraid to live. I will take the necessary precautions to ensure the safety of me, my crew, and my passengers, of course. But I'm not going to do so from a scared perspective, if that makes sense. That's how I'm choosing to get through all of this. The climate of the United States right now is heavy. Heavy is the best term that I can use right now for what's going on. And I've mentioned before that I don't want to make this page political. I'm not going to speak on any of that. But what I will say is, if you have an ounce of empathy, an ounce of compassion, an ounce of care for anyone other than you, please extend that to your neighbors, your friends, your family. Hell, even your enemies deserve that. It's hard out here. Life is hard. And the current climate in the United States is just making it harder. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox of that. I did also wake up at about 10 minutes to get downstairs now, but I did also wake up to see that my schedule has been changed. Originally, I had GSP to DC, and then I had a Manchester turn when I got to DC. They canceled the Manchester flight. I don't know if it has anything to do with that crash in Philly, considering the flight path probably flies over where that crash was. But I'm just speculating. I have no idea if that has anything to do with why that flight was canceled. But I am now doing a Pittsburgh turn. So when I get to DC, I'm going from DC to Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh back to DC. And hopefully I will be done after that. I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous about flying into Pennsylvania currently, but I'm not going to contradict what I said earlier. I'm not going to be afraid. I feel like it's natural to have pause about things, but you still do it anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish packing up so I can meet my crew downstairs. But it's just, this has been a very heavy vlog, and it's only a 2-day trip with everything that has happened so far. So I'm hoping going forward we can get back to a happier tone, a happier mindset, but I am going to allow time for my emotions to express themselves, and I'm gonna express my emotions. I'm gonna feel them, let them have their moment, and then I'm gonna release them. So let me go ahead and finish packing up, and I will try to check back in with you guys when we get to the airport. We have made it on the aircraft. We have about 3 minutes before we're gonna start boarding. It is a completely empty aircraft, y'all. There's only 17 people scheduled to be on this flight. So it's gonna be real smooth, real easy. I'm gonna try my best. Although most of the people that are sitting next to each other, they're traveling together. Try my best to spread them out so they can be as comfortable as possible on this short flight. And then we'll go from there. Looks like we're about to get our briefing, so 1 second. Okay, so we got our briefing. It should be a pretty smooth flight, hour and 2 minutes. Like I said, there's all of, it might be 18 people if there's a non-rev. Yeah, there's a non-rev, so if they come, it's gonna be all 18 people on here. So I'm gonna definitely give these people A1 service. Even if it was full cabin, they were getting A1 service because we're gonna have a good day on purpose. So they should be scanning them in shortly so that we can have an on-time departure. We had made it to DC, and it looks like our flight to Pittsburgh is delayed a little bit more than what it was. I'm gonna double check that once I finish checking in with you guys. I just walked down to Dunkin' Donuts to get me something to eat. I'm probably just gonna go sit at my gate, even though I probably have over like a 2-hour wait. I can't be in the crew room right now. So once I get my food, I'm gonna go and sit at my gate and just wait until we're gonna depart. So Pittsburgh is not a service flight at all. It's a pretty quick one. It's pretty empty heading to Pittsburgh, but of course it's practically full coming back. But it's gonna, because of the delay, a lot of people aren't going to make their initial connection. So we'll go ahead and mentally prepare to deal with that. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm gonna wait for my food and then head back over to my gate.
One eternity later.
Yeah, I wish I could really make this up. But the DC to Pittsburgh flight delayed and delayed and delayed. And now it's canceled. It is 3:54. It's now canceled. I called Screw Scheduling to let them know, like, my flight's been canceled. Unhand me. And they're like, they need me to stand by while they work through the cancellations. I've been at this airport since 8:30 this morning. When I tell you I'm over it, I am absolutely over it right now. Like, I'll be home soon. That's how I'm gonna end that rant, because it was going to get nasty. But I'll fill you guys in more when I get to the car, of course. We have our unwind time. But I'm a little tight right now. I'm a little tight. So hopefully Screw Scheduler calls me in the next few minutes. So, because this is ridiculous. I've made it to the car. I've calmed down a little bit. Still a little tight, but I've calmed down. So, the gist of today, I had originally it was a GSP to DC and then a Manchester turn. The Manchester turn was canceled earlier today. Well, it must have been canceled last night, because when I woke up this morning, there was a change to my schedule and they added a Pittsburgh turn. So it's not a long flight, and it was DC to Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh back to DC, and I was going to be done at 11 something. It's 4:27 p.m. So they had that Pittsburgh flight on a rolling delay because the inbound flight was delayed leaving from St. Louis. So it was a ferry flight from St. Louis to DC, and then we were to take that flight, that aircraft, to Pittsburgh and back. The pilots that were working the ferry flight were the pilots that were going to work the flight to Pittsburgh and back. So we're sitting there. So originally the flight was supposed to leave at 10:06 a.m. So it was going to be like an hour or so sit, not even a full hour, of when I was supposed to land and when that flight was going to take off. So it wasn't supposed to be that long. The departure time turned to 11:18. Then it jumped to like 2:40, but then it jumped back to 12:55. So then it was delayed till 12:55. Then they pushed it to 2:25. Then it was pushed to 3:30. Then it was pushed to 4:15. Then it was pushed to 4:55. So it was on a rolling delay because the inbound flight from St. Louis was delayed. I believe it was a maintenance delay causing them not to depart. And I called crew scheduling at first at 3 something because the flight kept delaying and everyone on the crew had an early report time, so we were all at risk for timing out. So I called them, trying to be proactive, like, hey, we are probably going to time out. The aircraft has not left St. Louis. It's a delayed flight. I see it's a delayed flight. And so we have 2 prompts when calling. One to notify or to report an absence, and the other one is legality and delay inquiries. So I clicked the legality and delay inquiries. Instead of assisting me, the rep spent the time on the phone stating that this line was more so for legality and rest, not delays. I was like, well, then you need to switch the prompts because I wouldn't have clicked this if it didn't say for delay inquiries. So we were going back and forth, and she was just honestly working my nerve. And so she ended up hanging up on me, actually. Now, I don't normally do the little survey at the end of the call when talking to crew scheduling, but I sure did today. And so then the other flight attendant, because she had an early report time, she calls and she's getting the same runaround, and the person's like, well, you would still be good for like 23 minutes because they're considering us in IROPS with everything that's going on. And she's like, literally 23 minutes, and you can't get if you don't have a staffing issue, why can't you get someone else to do it? She was like, well, she said that she knows that there is a staffing issue, and the crew scheduling rep was like, no, there's no staffing issue. We know that there is a staffing issue. Everyone's calling out, like, this has been a very trying time right now. And so she ends up getting off the phone with crew scheduling. She's just as irritated as I was when I spoke with them. And literally, like 10 minutes after she got off the phone with them, I had set up the notifications on my phone for the flight, and I get a text message from American Airlines that the flight has been canceled now. So it's not showing up on Crew Mobile for me. And then we go over to the board. The board isn't showing that it's canceled, but when we look over, because we weren't sitting too far from our gate, we look over to where our gate is, and the screen on the gate says it's canceled, as you guys saw. And we're calling crew scheduling, and we're like, the flight's been canceled. Can we be released? Like, we've literally been sitting there all day. Like, she got in before I did. So she's been at the airport since 7:30, I believe she said. She got into DC, and then she was expecting this to just be a quick little turn and then be released by 11, like I was. And they were giving her problems with getting a day room because of how they were doing the delay. They were doing it in such small increments that it wasn't quite long enough for us to get the day room. And then by the time we would have gotten the day room, the flight's been canceled. So when I tell you, just a waste of time. It was actually extremely frustrating. So then when we call crew scheduling after the flight's been canceled, mind you, I got the text message. The board in the airport at the gate says the flight has been canceled. When I called, she's like, oh yes, it just popped up on their end that it's been canceled, and they're working through the cancellations. And she's like, we just need you guys to stand by while we get this dealt with. I said, I've been sitting at this airport for 8 hours. How long is this going to take? Because I have no desire to sit in this airport for another minute. And she's like, it shouldn't take too long. I said, okay. So I took a deep breath, and I went and I sat closer to the exit. And I want to say like 10 minutes later, I get a push notification. And they took the Pittsburgh turn off. And then it just shows that I've been sitting standby from when I landed till about 4 o'clock. I'm just, y'all, I am over it. I am very, very much so over it. Like, it's hard enough to fly into DC without thinking about what has happened. And to then get there and be stuck all day, it's diabolical. It was a very trying time. And mind you, this was just a 2-day trip, y'all. This has been a very trying 2-day trip. And I've only had 2 legs. I had DC to GSP yesterday, and then GSP to DC today, with a whole bunch of filler foolishness. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to decompress and I'm going to enjoy my day off tomorrow. They bet not call me for nothing, because I will not answer. I am off tomorrow, and I will remain off tomorrow. So the flying aspect of this trip wasn't too bad. It was overwhelming, the first flight and walking through the airport, but I got through it. It was frustrating towards the end of this 2-day because of foolishness, just illogical foolishness. So I thank you so much for watching. Hug your loved ones. Hug them. Love them. Tell them you love them. Show them you love them. Show them that you love them in their love language. Whatever their love language is, learn it and make sure that they know. Comfort them. It's a lot of craziness going on in the world right now. And your loved ones deserve to know that they matter to you. So please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, live freely, love always, travel often. Bye.